Hey, it's Doc Jen, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and I want to talk about what happens when we get shoulder pain on push-ups. Now, a lot of times, unfortunately, this comes from yoga a lot. What happens when we're doing yoga or when we're typically taught, I won't say always, but what I usually hear is that when you go into chaturanga, you want to squeeze those elbows into your side. Well, when we squeeze those elbows, what we're doing is we're creating a really long lever arm that the front of our shoulder has to be able to keep our entire chest up. That's a lot of pressure for the front of the shoulder. And it puts a disadvantage for my shoulder blade to really help out because I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together. So rather than going into this really unnatural position that can cause a lot of tension onto those shoulders, because let me show you what happens in that push-up. Squeezing those elbows, the shoulders tend to come forward. Okay. And this doesn't happen with everyone, and maybe you stop short of that shoulder starting to come forward. However, it's still putting so much tension because of the disadvantage we have with our shoulder blades that help to support our shoulders and our entire trunk. So in order to help that, just place your arms out in front of me. Front of you. And what you're going to do is bring your elbows back naturally. If I bring my elbows back naturally, without thinking about it, without trying, what happens is that my arms naturally come out at this diagonal. This is the advantage for my shoulder blades. This is called scaption, and this is where my shoulder blades normally want to live in. Okay, it's at this angle. It's not forced in front. It's not forced out to the side. It is just at a nice diagonal. And when I can use the help of my shoulder blades with my shoulder, I'm then not putting so much forward tension just onto those shoulders right here, but I'm utilizing my entire back as well, especially when I press away. So that's my first tip. Naturally, usually people don't put those elbows out to the side when I tell them to do that. And you're naturally not squeezing them into your side unless you're actively thinking about that. You're just kind of letting it go at a diagonal. That's what we want to do in the push-up. Now, before we think about doing a push-up on the ground, we need to be perfecting our push-up on an elevated surface. I'm going to show that on a bench here. It could be a little bit higher, even onto a chair, onto a higher counter, wherever you need to start, where you don't have shoulder pain and you can maintain your form. That's what you want to do. So I'm going to switch this up. So when we come onto this elevated surface, we're able to then just focus on what my elbows are doing, where they're going, how my shoulder blades are going to help, and making sure that I'm maintaining a good core pressure rather than dropping, placing my arms out to the side, or doing anything funky to try to get up. So when we're in this elevated surface, the first thing we want to think about doing is pushing the ground away. So I want to push into my fingertips and I want to push the bench away. Okay. I don't want to round into my back. So it's not a rounding, but it's a push away. And what happens when I do that is that my shoulder blades come away from the spine. So rather than being resting in together, they push away from my spine. This motion is going to help to activate what's called my serratus anterior, which comes from the inside of my shoulder blade, wraps around to my rib cage here, which is going to help with that support and that stability of the entire body. So again, my shoulders aren't taking over all of the pressure. So coming into that position, I want to push my fingertips, press the ground away, and now I want to squeeze my glutes. Okay, no lazy glutes, no booties in the air. We're going to squeeze and tuck. Now I'm in this straight aligned position, and with my elbows naturally going out to a diagonal, my shoulder blades will then start to come together, and then I push all the way back to that starting position. So not just here, but I'm going to push all the way out. My shoulder blades pressing away from that spine again before I lower back down. And you want to be able to master getting your chest all the way down by those thumbs. So I like to say, nipples to your thumbs. This is the line that we're going in. If you're on an elevated surface, it comes a little bit lower toward where that rib cage meets. And you're going to come toward that good position, pressing all the way in, all the way out. And this is going to drive that entire shoulder blade, not just the front of your shoulder. It's going to keep that core alignment, and it's going to allow you to build a stronger push-up with no pain in your shoulders. So comment below, let me know. Do you need to go onto a counter? Some people start at a wall. Some people start at a high counter. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment. My judgment is if you're going straight to the floor without having your form, you're going to end up in injury. So let's not do that. Let's elevate the surface. I do push-ups elevated all the time, even though I can master them on the floor. Sometimes I'm just not feeling well, or I'm feeling maybe a little bit more in different areas, and I know I need to elevate the surface. Modifying or changing up the exercise doesn't mean that you're not strong enough. It means that you're so strong, you're working on your form, and you're continuing to improve your body. So comment below, let me know what you learned, let me know what you're going to try out and what you're committed to within your body. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.